NERDSoul.
What up, y'all? This is Keith Cooper of Blerdish. I'm here with two wonderful gentlemen to talk about not only a hot movie, a serious topic, a great person, and just, drop their knowledge on it. So, Mark couldn't join us today. He's out in the gym getting swole. He's becoming Super Mark. So, shout out to Mark and his fitness goals. He's goals right now. But today I got with me a returning guest, Brian Marcel Williams. I said his whole government name. That is unusual. Marcel P. Black. It's the Zoom, man. It's the Zoom. We got Marcel P. Black today. And first time on Blerdish, Jamal Davis. That's his government name. He also goes by Jamal Steele, a dope rapper. Both of them are dope rappers. And today we're going to be talking Judas and the Black Messiah. It just dropped this week. I've been seeing the reaction to it. And I just wanted to bring these two gentlemen on to get their thoughts. They're going to review it and drop knowledge on us. Because not only, because they saw the movie, but these two gentlemen have dropped wonderful jewels on their social media, their platforms, have done various work in the community. So we're going to listen to what they would have to say. So if y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick, please feel free.
Y'all know who I am. I'm just a conscious rapper who plays NBA 2K and watches Law & Order SVU every day. I think the important thing is to really, really introduce Jamil here, because he does a lot of grassroots activism in his home of Pensacola, Florida, Northwest Florida. So Jamil, do me a favor, man. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do, because you do a lot. Tell them what you do.
Okay. Jamil Davis, that's what my mama named me. Jamal Steele, that's what, the streets gave me. A lot, bruh. I rap on occasion. I miss the road. I think we all do. I also am an organizer. Organizer for Black Voters Matter. Just recently, as of January the 1st, February the 1st. As of February the 1st, I just recently got promoted to be the Florida lead organizer for Black Voters Matter. So basically, like, building strategy and building action plans for the entire state, and not just my region anymore of North Florida and the Panhandle and the Gulf Coast. Also building a new organization here in Pensacola, the Pensacola Community Action Committee, which is an affiliate chapter of the National Association Against Racist and Political Repression. The organization itself was originally the Free Angela Davis movement when she was in trial and all of that. And then once she got acquitted on all charges, she basically was like, yo, so why not start freeing all political prisoners? And so the organization revitalized in 2019, and there's a lot of chapters of it here in the state of Florida. And, we about to become the chapter, affiliate chapter for it here in Pensacola. We pride ourselves for organizing around community control of the police as a tool for abolition, labor rights, and working class equity. Working class equity for all people. But it's a black-led grassroots organization. So I'm still on my, having a political home type deal, and then, building power for other organizations through Black Voters Matter. So, that's
and also, when I first met Jamil, I want to say you was over the Northwest chapter, the Northwest Florida chapter of Black Lives Matter. I think when we first met in like 2016 to 17. Right. I know you spent some time as a leader and organizer in Dream Defenders. You know what I'm saying? So Jamil is like, and I think it's important for us to put this into perspective. as we start talking about Chairman Fred, because I really admire Jamil, because Jamil really goes outside and does the work. My work has always been based working with youth through several different nonprofits, just kind of on my own. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, my rap, but I'm not a marcher. I'm not a protester. I'm not a go outside person. I'm a let's build with the youth to give them this particular political education. Jamil does a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Does a lot, and he's unabashedly hip hop, and he's unabashedly a Christian. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think that before we get into talk about Chairman Fred, when we're talking about grassroots organizing, I think Jamil is the perfect person to have to talk about this, because he really does that in real time. I don't go outside. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. You know what I'm saying? But Jamil actually does that. You can see him looking on Facebook, and you can see him going to the council, the city council meetings and the town hall meetings, and really riding on the people. You know what I'm saying? In them government buildings. And did you guys just do a protest? About real quick, because like I said, we talk about marching and protesting and organizing. Tell them real quick about this law, this oppressive racist law that you guys are fighting against, dealing with old punk ass Bill DeSantis.
So HB1, Florida State House Bill 1, Senate Bill 484. We in organizing circles affectionately call it the DeSantis Censorship and Repression Bill. Basically, if the bill becomes law and we start doing protests again in the summer, because the bill will be law on July the 1st, if it gets passed. If we start doing protests in the summer, and as we all know, especially seeing Judas and the Black Messiah and seeing it firsthand within the film, the Feds send agitators, the Feds send provocateurs. And if the Feds send one and they cause a ruckus, if it's 9 or more people at the protest, that's a charge known as aggravated rioting, and it carries a punishment of up to 15 years in prison. And if you get arrested, you can't post bail. Cannot post bail.
Damn.
Can't post bail, my G.
As harsh as it gets, that's in-game level.
Even if you get arrested, the official wording in the bill is, if you get arrested, you don't have a chance to post bail until your first appearance. But we all know how this works. After the first appearance, they're not gonna give you bail. You pretty much in jail until your trial, even through your trial. And so we all remember Bree Newsom. Bree Newsom climbed the pole, grabbed the South Carolina state flag, which is a Confederate flag. If she did that in the state of Florida and this bill was law, she'd be facing 15 years. Because any damage to a monument and historic symbol, a Confederate flag being a historic symbol, gets you 15 years.
See, look, Emil, so we're going to get into Fred in a second. And Coop, I appreciate you letting me kind of go here, because this is my brother, and he's very, very politically astute. And so I kind of got a question I want to ask you before we get into Chairman Fred. So
absolutely.
I have this theory, and I don't have the answers, but I kind of have this theory that and it all ties into what we're talking about today.
Right.
I have this theory that, in the spirit of Black nationalism or whatever, sometimes I feel like we're wasting our, I would say we're wasting our time, but sometimes I feel like it's a battle that we're never going to win, because it seems like the only two options for freedom for Black people in America is buying some Black shit or voting. And we both know, and this is gonna come up a lot when we talk about Chairman Fred. We both know that capitalism is not the way. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least according to the people who raised us, Malcolm and Martin and Fred and Sutherland Carmichael, they would tell you that they're anti-capitalist. And number two, voting. You know what I'm saying? Now you are involved in electoral politics with Black Votes Matter, but I look at it like this, man. Just like capitalism was not a system that was set up by our people. In fact, we were the capital. Voting was a system not set up by our people. And the reason why is just pretty much we don't have the power to make some bullshit law when we want to, right? So,
Right.
so you know, I watched the movie about the Black Panthers the other day. You know what I'm saying? It was not against the law for them to come up into the California State House in Sacramento with the guns, and so they made it a law to where you can't do it that anymore, right? So fast forward to 2020, 2021. You guys are protesting and doing a lot of great work in Florida. The governor was like, you know what? Like, as much as we vote, we don't have the power or the resources to put in place laws that really benefit us like our opposition does. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So so like literally like DeSantis is racist and he want these niggas to stop I'm sorry, dude. He want these people to stop protesting or whatever and marching. And so he puts in a racist law. You know what I'm saying? So for you, I'm asking you a very complex question here. And just for you, like as a person who is involved in grassroots organizing, a person that is involved in grassroots organizing that deals with electoral politics, what do you have to say to what do you have to say to that?
So we'll go back to one of the things that you brought up in the question, which is Black Voters Matter. Black Voters Matter is an organization that's involved in electoral politics. Now, we only use that as a tool. We're actually a power building organization. So if you have an organization within your area, which shout out to the homie Amari. She's actually the Louisiana state coordinator for Black Voters Matter. Omari Hosong. So yeah, if you got organization or if you just got like a nonprofit, or don't even have to be a nonprofit, just something that you're trying to do as an organizer in the state of Louisiana, we come find you and we pump resources into whatever it is that you're trying to do, even on off election years. So we use voting as a Trojan horse, essentially, because we learned that from people like Stokely Carmichael, from people like Chairman Fred. We learned that that's a tool, like, and so dealing with individuals here in Florida, or just even across the country, because I know it's the same way in Louisiana. These old legacy Black organizations, or these old legacy Black organizers who we want to tell you, hey, you gotta stop telling Black people not to vote. Cool, whatever. If I'm not telling them and I'm out here on these streets and they telling me like, yo, I don't vote, I'm not finna sit here and diminish or dog them out for that, because there's plenty of other things that you can do as an organizer to organize your people towards liberation. Building group economics and what's being pushed by capitalists and Black capitalists. I mean, you know, same coin, different face. That's two different things. Group economics, in the vein of what Chairman Fred was trying to give us and what Stokely was, what Kwame was trying to give us. That's not what Hov and Nipsey was pumping on, what it looked like.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that. I will talk about that. So
I love that song, by the way, though.
As music is great, but I definitely will talk about the soundtrack. So I mean,
I guess we can jump into it.
We chopping it now, bro. We did open up some worms here. If I put the glass on, yeah. So I get what you're saying. So because I'm gonna tell you, so this honest goodness truth. I did vote. I've been registered independent since I've been able to vote. I didn't vote for Hillary. I voted Green. You know what I'm saying? And that's even before I was really serious, like understanding like socialism. You know what I'm saying? Like I just went fooling with Hillary. You know what I'm saying? So this past time, over the last 4 years, man, I've really been like I've always been like socially astute, but I've never really been because I've always been about doing the work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would never consider myself politically astute. you know what I'm saying, up until maybe the last 3 or 4 years. You know, shout out to Dr. Jerry Ball and all the good work they do over there. Rosa Clemente, you know, Black Power Media, I mix what I like. Really, really been studying and learning more about third party politics, specifically based around like socialism. You know what I'm saying? So this particular year, I had my mind made up. You know what? I understand we're going up against Trump again, but like, as far as my politics, I've gone far, far, far left, far, far, far radical. Progressive, it just isn't. Liberal is not a thing for me. Progressive ain't enough. I've gone far left, right? I might have texted you about this, and I don't remember if I did or not. But I went to the voter move. I was getting ready to go for Howard Henderson and sister Angela, what's her name? Oh gosh, Angela Walker. You know what I'm saying? I was about to vote for them, and Louisiana did not have the Green Party on the ballot.
They had Kanye on it though.
Yeah, had Kanye on that mug, but did not have. I was pissed. They did not have the Green Party on the ballot, and I've really been serious about trying to vote my political education and conscience. They had something, the Freedom and Socialism Party, and I want to say Leonard Peltier, the revolutionary.
Party for Socialism and Liberation. Yeah,
there we go. I know he's a part. He was a part of that thing, but honestly, I didn't know enough about it. You know what I'm saying? And for what it's worth, I had read Joe Biden's plan, and so I begrudgingly voted blue this time. I'm never going to do it again. In terms of the top of the ticket, top of the ballot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is one of the first times I really feel like I gave my vote away because I did not want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never voting red, whatever. But so for me, I'm looking, and I guess kind of goes back to voting, and it's just like, so what you said is important about Black Voters Matter because you're right. We're using voting as a way to kind of get into these communities, but it's really about building resources, building foundations. You know what I'm saying? And what you said was important in terms of like differentiate between capitalism and group economics because you can like just because you're trying to get you some money, that doesn't mean you know what I'm saying you can't be a socialist. That just means socialism is the people who do the people who are doing the work get to decide how the resources and the wealth is disseminated as opposed to the private sector who is outside of the government who have more influence than the government, right? So I understand what you're saying in terms of like, yes, the difference between group economics and big steppers on the jets, you know what I'm saying, and whatever they was talking about. One last thing I want to talk about, then we'll get into Chamber Fred, I promise. I want to ask you about too. Did you see the letter that came out from the 10 Black Lives Matter chapters across the country? Basically, it was a call into the okay, cool. One thing that I fear, you know what I'm saying, like, I guess it's publicly now. I don't talk bad about Black Lives Matter publicly because a lot of things that white people say and Black people say who don't necessarily have a political education are really repeating right-wing talking points when they say, exactly. I fool with Black Lives Matter as far as a phrase, but Black Lives Matter, the organization is a Marxist organization. Well, if they're a Marxist organization, that's good because so was Malcolm X, was a Marxist, right? But and that's cool, right? But my problem I have, and I know you did a lot of work with Black Lives Matter, and you and I talked about the message and things of that nature is,
right.
The national headquarters, you know what I'm saying? The national spokespeople, and I believe Alicia Garza is absolutely beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She probably cool as a fan, but they kind of got that bag and left us. You know what I'm saying? And so I watched the whole interview with like I want to say six of the leaders from who signed off on the 10 Black Lives Matter organizations that's kind of asking where the money is and where the resources are. One thing they're saying how was like the mainstream the mainstream organization of Black Lives Matter is super duper have been watered down. Is very much beholden to the Democratic Party. Is very much beholden to even working with police. And all these sisters was literally saying F12 is FTP over here all day. And they were talking about how a lot of the work that they like a sister in Philly was saying like when Philly was having they uprisings last summer. they were saying how the national chapter of Black Lives Matter had kind of set up a photo op to take pictures with the police. You know what I'm saying? And so the national chapter came out there and took the pictures with the police in Philly, and then they left. And then the police beat the local people up after they left. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, but a lot of this is going on, and it kind of goes back to, you know, all this is going to tie into with the things Fred did, and I think it's important that, like, you know, that when you're doing real grassroots organizing, whatever, you're dealing with what the people want to do, and you're not becoming beholden. You may work like Black Voters Matter as a Trojan horse to really give people the resources, but you're not becoming beholden to any particular party.
Right.
So, I mean, I know I said a lot, but do you have a response to that?
No, yeah, I got and you know, some of us call them comrades, some of us call them kinfolk. I got kinfolk that's in those chapters. Like one of my homegirls is an organizer in the DC chapter that signed off. And I remember saying this when Black Lives Matter ascended to an actual organization and not just the movement that it was when it initially first started. I said to myself, if they don't get real control of this, all Black Lives Matter is going to do is going to turn into the black wing of the Democratic Party.
And that's what happened.
Said that. I said that back in like 2013, 2014. If they don't get a hold of this, it's going to turn into the black wing of the Democratic Party. And it doesn't need to be that. And I also respect the fact that all of the chapters that signed off, they was like, yeah, so we might not rock with the national organization no more, but don't tell us that we not a Black Lives Matter chapter. We gonna keep that name because we worked for that name.
Right.
You know, like, you know, y'all not finna Ike Turner us. Like, you know, the name stay here. Yeah.
Right. That's my daddy's name. No, I'm gonna send you the interview what they did with Jared Ball, and it gave me a whole lot of insight, and I've been wanting to talk to you about this or whatever. But cool. Sorry, Coop, man. We just, you know, you get two brothers like us together, and we're gonna run it.
You know what I was too. That's why I wanted Jamil to join. I wanted all that, and
100%.
People out there listening, take it in, rewind it, listen, and hopefully you learn something from that, and we're gonna learn some more.
Absolutely.
100%. All right, cool. So, appreciate that, Coop. Thank you for giving us, space to do this conversation. All right, so look, we talking Judas and the Black Messiah. So, just like myself, as soon as I saw the advertisement for it, I got excited because Fred is my guy. Fred is Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. is my all-time favorite Black revolutionary for the simple fact that he never, unfortunately, he probably lived the shortest, right? You know what I'm saying? But he definitely lived the shortest, you know what I'm saying? But the work that he did in those 7 years, is probably some of the most powerful work that we've ever had. And the thing I love about Chairman Fred is he never left the people. He never ever, unfortunately he didn't get a chance to, you know what I'm saying? But he never ever left the people. When I first heard about it, I got excited, and I got excited, but then I also kind of had my caution. But then when I saw that Chairman Fred was on board, Chairman Fred Jr. was on board, Mama Uncle and Jared was on board, when I saw my sis Rosa Clemente was on board, when I saw Dr. Ray Winbush was on board, I said, okay, we got some credible people here. You know what I'm saying? For those who do not know, for people who are not, who are, just as far as Chairman Fred was from, he born in Summit, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. He grew up in Maywood. Maywood was a quote unquote black middle class suburb of Chicago. His parents were from Louisiana. They're from Haynesville, Louisiana. That's where his body is buried. He was always very, very active in his community. Beginning, when he was as young as 12 years old. When he was 14 years old, he joined the NAACP, and he became the I can't remember the name of the branch, but he was over the NAACP for suburban Chicago in Maywood. This suburb only had 27,000 people, but Chairman Fred was able to organize and get 500 young people. Now there ain't 500 people in no NAACP chapter nowhere. People ain't fool the NAACP like that. You know what I'm saying? But to not only had not even 500 adults, 500 young people. Right. And and because it was so many more young people than it was adults, the young people kind of ran the whole chapter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this because I talked this to my students last week in preparation to the movie coming up. So a lot of this is still fresh on my mind. And so Chairman Fred, his main two goals was to get a better education system for the young people in in the suburbs of Chicago, and this on the south side. And he also wanted a better recreational facilities or what have you. He graduated high school, and he went to he graduated from Proviso East, and he graduated high school, and he enrolled in Triton Junior College, and he studied pre-law. And the reason why he studied pre-law is because he liked how, and this is right before he joined the Black Panthers, he liked how Brother Huey used law to keep police from harassing, you know what I'm saying, poor Black and brown folks, you know what I'm saying, in the community or what have you. Boom. Now, none of this was in the movie. You know what I'm saying? This is just giving context to who Brother Fred is. So 1967, Fred Hampton joins the Black Panthers, and because of all of, and he was the young guy. So mind you, he was born in 68. So he's 19 at this point. And another thing too, we gotta understand that when Huey and Bobby Seale and them started, they was in their 20s too. So right. we look at that time and we automatically think everybody from that time is old school. Now, no, these were people who were much younger than who we are here. We're in our late 30s. These people were 20 years younger than us that we are right now, doing real deal revolutionary organizing. But he was so powerful as an organizer, it didn't take him long until he became the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago, and then the chairman of the whole party in in the whole state of Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so now we get to the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Because the movie essentially starts us at 68. 68 going into 69.
68. So the movie is more of a period piece, and it's not a biopic. It's a period piece, and the movie only really covers maybe a year and a half of his life. You know what I'm saying? And because he didn't just come out the womb like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he was. I'm sorry. Like it took him. He did a whole lot of stuff to get him there. Because nobody ever asked the question, well, how did this guy only 20 years old? How was he this good? Because he had been doing this, and he had been got respect. Like that was like, who was this 18-year-old kid organizing all the people in Illinois? For you know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party sought him out because he was that good. You know what I'm saying? And it was the and I taught this to my students. It was the 10-point program for him. He was already doing a whole lot of good stuff in the NAACP, but when he saw that 10-point program, he was sold. And I feel like he might have embodied the 10-point program better than anybody else in the whole Black Panthers. At the end of the day, especially for someone so young, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like for what it's worth, like after a while, when Malcolm became the leader of the NOI, he wasn't with the people no more. He spoke to the people. You know what I'm saying? Martin spoke to the people, but he went with the people. You know what I'm saying? Like Fred was in the streets. Fred never left the streets, and he had the heart and soul, and that's how he can go into these different neighborhoods. He can go into, be it separated by class, be it separated by race, be it separated by hardworking people or people who sold drugs and shot people. He can go holler at everybody because he was really, really one with the streets. I think it's important that we know the movie was written from the standpoint of William O'Neill. So the movie, what's the name? It said it several times. Rosa Clemente said it that like this pretty much the only way the movie could be made. Yeah. They said they wanted the movie to be a black version of The Departed, and I can't remember the other movie because The Departed deals with Leonardo DiCaprio being a informant or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like being all type of different spies or whatever. But it's important to note that. So this is not a Fred Hampton biopic, though it does talk about him, and that's it's very, very powerful. Yeah. So I said enough about the beginning of it. Maybe you want to pick it up from there.
For me, I think I really enjoyed the fact that, for the most part, I'm not going to say completely, but for the most part, they didn't try to water down Chairman Fred's political ideologies. Like you had your moments in the movie, like when we're at the scene where the Young Patriots and the Young Lords and the Panthers are forming the Rainbow Coalition outside of Chicago PD headquarters, and they call for an independent investigation. Nah, that's not what they call for in real life. They call for community control of the police. Community control of the police. That was distinctively what they called for. But we know why they did that in Hollywood, because it's Hollywood. Right. That's how they get down.
In terms of, like, as a person who studied Chairman Fred pretty closely for a long time, I think for the most part, the information that they gave as far as political education about Chairman Fred was pretty on point. Right. But they just omitted a lot of stuff. That's the thing about it. This is a lot of stuff they left out. And like I said, so for me, looking at it from the context of it really wasn't supposed to be about Fred, it's supposed to be about William O'Neill. They left out a lot of stuff. But I want to say, like, the stuff that they did do, like a lot of this, like, for instance, and we doing spoilers, right? We doing spoilers?
Oh yeah, man. Do spoil away.
Okay, we're doing spoilers. All right, cool. So
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Cool. So all right. So the scene where they go to the church and meet with the Crowns. That in real life, it wasn't the Crowns. In real life, it was the Black Stones, right? The real gang leader was Jeff Fort. Now, but the Crowns were a composite of it. I'm 98% sure that this is correct. The Crowns were a composite of the Black Stones, who, after they met with Fred, you know what I'm saying? After they met with Fred, they changed themselves to the Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation. Had the Black Stones joined the Black Panther Party, they would have doubled the size of the membership of the Black Panthers in the nation. It would have made the largest Black revolutionary organization in the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? So in the movie, none of that happened with William O'Neill, where the guy recognized him from robbing the car. None of that happened, right? Also, the Crown said that we protected King when he was in Chicago. Yeah, when he was in Chicago for the Poor People's Campaign. What they were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Devil's Disciples, which, after meeting with Fred, it was the Devil's Disciples that took care of the Kings. After meeting with Fred, they became the Black Disciples. So, you got the Gangster Disciples, and then you had the Devil's Disciples, then you had the Black, you know what I'm saying? The Devil's Disciples became the Black Disciples. So the Crowns was a composite of different things, between the Black Stone Rangers and the Devil's Disciples, which later became the Black Disciples. And so, like, that scene, some of that scene was factual in terms of the meeting. Of course, the dialogue was different or whatever, but there was no situation where somebody got slapped for getting out of hand, and there was a situation to where he gave him a gun. A lot of that stuff was for Hollywood, right? But he did, and what the movie doesn't show is, the whole reason why Fred ended up at the Black Stone Rangers headquarters was because at first, there was tension between the Black Stone Rangers and the Panthers, because, as we saw, Fred was going to people's hoods and promoting the Panthers, right? And basically, Jeff Ford, like, man, that's cool, but you ain't tapped in. You ain't bang my line. And so there was a point to where somebody had got harmed. I want to say a Ranger had shot a Panther, and this is why Fred and them pulled up on Jeff Ford. And Jeff Ford, Fred did come with 30 deep. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember if they was armed or not, but they definitely came 30 deep. And it was 100 armed people at, you know what I'm saying, the Blackstone Rangers headquarters. And, Jeff Ford thought that Fred was going to be on that rah-rah. He was like, nah, I'm not here on no rah-rah. Let's come together. They didn't make that decision to come together that particular day. But the feds heard about, you know what I'm saying, this possible merger, you know what I'm saying, with you know what I'm saying, with the Black Panthers and the Black Stones, and that's when they put William O'Neill to work. And William O'Neill had started beef between he had a situation, you know what I'm saying, like when somebody got shot. I want to say, maybe I don't know if he got killed or not, but I know somebody got shot, and that's the reason why the Blackstone Rangers didn't join the Black Panthers. But Jeff Ford knew that Fred Hampton was a real one. He kind of peeped game that was the feds doing this, and so that's the reason why. That's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, there was no real retaliation on the Black Panthers, because everybody could peep game and see who started it. They didn't know William O'Neill started it, but they knew the feds investigated. The feds was involved. Right. So, I mean, it's things like that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the film, it's just like, okay, it's dramatized. You know, it is what it is. You're putting, you know what I'm saying, you know, like back then, man, every day, it seemed like every day was action packed. Hey, pretty baby. Hey, how you doing? Oh, okay. Oh, look at that pretty baby.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We doing well.
Oh, I can't hear him. My bad.
So, yeah, we can keep going.
Oh yeah. So it's things like that in terms of hey, pretty baby. I'm sorry. It's things like that. You know what I'm saying? That was omitted or kind of dramatized from the film. You know, I think the at the beginning when he's doing the first speech or what have you, and you know, and they have about getting a chance to Malcolm X College, and he's kind of calling them out. That speech ain't necessarily go like that. You know what I'm saying, in real life, to where he kind of barked on the brother wearing in the dashiki or whatever. That didn't necessarily go like that, but it is what it is. The thing about the movie I did like, they got the ending right. Like, they got the ending right, and if you've watched any of the documentaries about Fred Hampton, you know what I'm saying, the murder of Fred Hampton, the assassination of Fred Hampton, then you'll see the house look just like that. You know what I'm saying? The house looked just like that. The rooms look just like that. The way everything was set up, like they got that right. I mean, even to the he's still alive, he's good and dead now. They got that. They got all that correct. The biggest, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna pass it back to you, Jamil. The biggest omission from the movie, the biggest glaring omission to me, was they did not mention the name of District Attorney Hanrahan, and they did not mention the name of Mayor Daley. Mayor Daley was an Irish. He was an Irish mayor, and he was connected with the Irish mob. And so he was playing both sides of the fence in terms of, like, he ain't like Daley ain't like all these black gangsters not wanting to sell dope no more. You know what I'm saying? It kind of getting into the criminal aspect of it, whatever. District Attorney Hanrahan is the person who signed off. So it was 14 people who actually raided the Panther House, and it was called Jesus Christ. It was called the SAC. I can't remember what the SAC stand for or whatever, but it was so District Attorney Hanrahan. It was an amalgamation of FBI agents, sheriff's deputies, Chicago PD, right? So the way the movie said, it was strictly like FBI, COINTELPRO. No, the mayor and the district attorney, like, legit called a hit on Fred Hampton. You know what I'm saying? Now it was under the it was J. Edgar Hoover's call, but Hanrahan was in charge of organizing the whole situation. And like I said, they did not mention, like, literally, like, Cooper, imagine Hiller Moore calling a hit on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine Hiller Moore, and I'm not gonna say what's the
happening without me mentioning, without me getting deep into that, but
you know what I'm saying, but like, imagine Hiller Moore and a Baton Rouge mayor coming together to call a hit on somebody's citizen, right? So that's a huge omission from the film. A huge omission that they missed, in my opinion, that I think needs to have, has a lot of political ramifications.
I got a question.
Context. What's up?
You probably just answered that. Why you think that omission might have got left out?
Because the Dailies was mobsters. And
Okay.
they, like even white folks that made a movie about J. Edgar Hoover. You know what I'm saying? So like, clearly the white folks don't trust it. Well, that's because of Trump, but the white folks don't trust the feds either. Nobody really trusts the feds, right? So it's easy to kind of point the finger at the feds as far as doing nefarious and crazy acts. But nobody's, you know what I'm saying? Warner Brothers ain't signing up for somebody where they saying the district attorney of one of the largest cities in America and the mayor of one of the largest cities in America was complicit in calling a hit on somebody. Warner Brothers ain't going that far.
They could have some ramifications.
Right,
especially
right. You know
if
what I'm saying?
you want to, filming permits.
Right. Now for what it's worth, they shot the movie in Cleveland. They did shoot the movie in Chicago. I just saw a video of all the places they shot today. They did the work to turn it into Chicago or what have you. Another thing too, just to put in context, is William O'Neill was 17 when he first was recruited, whatever. So, LaKeith Stanfield is 30. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to understand, like, this is a really, really young-minded person who was really, really poor and really, really desperate. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that in context. But William O'Neill was 17 when he was first recruited, or what have you. Boom. Jamal, anything you want to add?
That was one of the things I was actually going to touch on. I like the fact of how they didn't make you feel sympathy for William O'Neill. If you felt sympathy for William O'Neill, cool. If you didn't, we not gonna fault you for that. We're not gonna lose no sleep over that. But they didn't make you feel sympathy for William O'Neill. They actually legitimately showed the conditions that William O'Neill was in that got him to that point. I think I think also one of the things that you also brought up, Marcel, is one of the things that it's not like a hang up for me, but the fact that William O'Neill was 17, 18 and Fred Hampton was like 19, 20, 21. But you got cats in their 30s playing these two is the thing that presented a problem for me. Like I know it's some young dudes that could have played both William, like young prominent actors that could have played William O'Neill and Chairman Fred. Now I will give you this though, Daniel Kahlua.
I was gonna jump in there. How do y'all feel about the acting done?
Did that brother did that,
bro. Daniel incredible. If he don't get all the awards for that, we all know why. Same reason why Denzel didn't get all the awards for Malcolm X, but he deserved all of them. Like,
I have no doubt. Look, I'm gonna tell you the least believable, the worst character on the screen was Martin Sheen as J. Edgar Hoover. Like, he didn't do nothing. Like, you got this legendary actor. His makeup was bad. Like, that was whack. They could have. Like J. Edgar Hoover was literally like the devil walking earth, and they could have made him a whole lot more devilish. You know what I'm saying? But he was kind of Martin Sheen. He ain't do his thing. Jesse Plemons, my boy Landry for Friday Night Lights, man, he might be the best problematic white man character ever. So that character, that was not, that wasn't a real person, right? That was just a composite. But he did his thing. He did his thing. Oh, please let me say this, man. Dominique Fishbach. Oh my God, she might
Fishback
be like,
was incredible.
Dog, she did it, bro. Like when one of the last speeches she did when she was pregnant, and like you see her going through the motions of saying like, yes, we would die for the revolution, but she's rubbing her belly at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like, yes, I'm with the movement, I'm with the revolution, but like it kind of hit different now than before I was pregnant, because now I got somebody to live for. You know what I'm saying? And like just that piece right there, man. Like you know, the ending where they pulled her out and they had the gun to her belly, and how she, you know, at the end when they were trying to shoot Chairman Fred, and this pregnant woman was 9 months pregnant, jump on top of this man because she saw he wasn't waking up to protect him. Like, bro, that did it for me. You know what I'm saying? That did it for me. Dominique Fishbach did her thing. Shout out to the sister who played Judy, who was letting an eye loose. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was, man, they had the black women kicked ass, you know what I'm saying, in this whole movie. You know, so man, that was, you know, it was like, as a film, just like as a film, it was a great film. You know what I'm saying? It's a great film. I think that it's a good tool for our young people to watch and learn something about it, a good primer. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be coming out with a curriculum about Chairman Fred. But I haven't seen it yet, but I've been asking every time Sister Rosa make a post, yo, where the curriculum? You know what I'm saying? But as a film, I think it's a good film. Yes, like I'm gonna tell you, so I watched the Panther movie, the one that came about the Black Panthers, 1995,
the early mid 90s.
Yeah, well, that Mario Van Peebles did. Man, man, you talk about some cap. You talk about like because it was based off of a novel by Mario Van Peebles. And so like you're talking about, like, I mean, it's a good movie to watch, you know what I'm saying, for black folks, but in terms of, like, you know, the historian in me, you know, I look, if I wanted to dissect that movie, it was a lot of distortions and omissions in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was a whole lot of omissions in that one.
It was, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of Judas and the Black Messiah, man, overall, like I said, as a film, just watching, just if you take out, for me, if I look at it just as a fan of watching movies, it was a great film. You know, I had to, at first I was coming in really, really critical of the situation, but I had to really think about it, and I was just like, you know what? This isn't harmful to black folks. This isn't, you know, we got the people who put our kente cloth hats on, and, you know, we have our conspiracies and things of that nature about it. Man, look, like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, because Chairman Fred, unfortunately, didn't live that long. It's really not hard to find stuff about his life, and it's not that much to read. So, like, you can watch you can read the book, The Assassination of Fred Hampton, by one of his lawyers, and get the whole story. You know what I'm saying? You can there's several documentaries online. So at this point, so it's like, you know, one of my pet peeves that have come from people who are like, one brother said that you're never gonna get the truth if the oppressor's making the movie. I said, I don't really dig that, for the simple fact that, because forget Dr. Ray Winbush and Rosa Clemente, Fred Hampton Jr. and Mama Kahlua, I was like, and I get what you're saying. You know, I agree that Warner Brothers is the ops, but we not calling Chairman Fred the ops or Mama Kahlua the ops. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's totally disrespectful.
From what I understand from listening to the Judas and the Black Messiah podcast, they've been trying to make a film of this magnitude for like almost 10-12 years. Yep.
And they've been turning it down
every time.
They've been turning it down every time.
Yep. So did they say what was the determining factor for them to change their minds?
They said that they brought Dominique and Daniel Kaluuya to Chicago, and Chairman Fred gave him the 10th degree. And it's okay, if you're really about this life, come out here. And they went to one of the worst neighborhoods of Chicago at 2:00 in the morning. And Chairman Fred had to see how Daniel Kaluuya was built. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you a British cat, you know, hi-ho, cheerio, pip, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? But he had to see how it was built. Okay, let me see if you really about this. It's 2:00 in the morning. We out here in the parts of the city that they call Chirac. Let me see if you're really serious. And he was impressed, with the way that Daniel Kaluuya handled himself. And he was impressed with the way LaKeith Stanfield. Mama Kahlua was like, okay, yeah, she can play me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm impressed in the way she did his things or whatever. So yeah, they had to go to the ringer. They had to look at, I've met Chairman Fred. Chairman Fred, like, he'll knock somebody out right now. And he will knock somebody out right now. Chairman Fred is with all of that and some. So if he give you a cosign, it's legit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care. I don't care about the whole black Brits. Look, man, look. You know, I'm a Pan-African. You know what I mean? Look, If Chairman Fred say you good money, you good money. That's all I need to hear. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never sacrificed. He ain't never sold out. He done did time for the people. He done, you know what I'm saying? He done put his life on the line for the people. So if you say you good money, I'm with it. And so
we all suffering across the world.
Exactly.
As people of African descent. One of my OGs here in Pensacola, one of his best friends is Chairman Fred. So the moment the trailer came out, the first person I called on the phone was him. I said, yeah. So before I started letting people know whether they're gonna see this movie or not, I need you to make that phone call. And he was like, about what? I was like, yo, they making a movie about Chairman Fred. He was like, what? He's like, yeah, let me make that phone call. He hit me back 2 weeks later. He was like, bruh, him and his mom was on set every day.
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like,
they had the young lord, like Cha-Cha Jimenez, who's the leader of the Young Lords. He was on set. You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like, you know, of course the Rainbow Coalition, you know, it was much more than the Young Lords and the Young Patriots. You know, we so the FBI had also so after the FBI has started to be had made the permanent fraction between the Black Keystone Nation and the Black Panthers. They want him to break up more people in the Rainbow Coalition, and so they had William O'Neill start a beef with the SDS, the Students of Democratic Society, right? And you know what I'm saying? So William O'Neill started beef with them, but we got to look. You had the American Indian movement that was part of the Rainbow Coalition. You had the Brown Berets that was part of the Rainbow Coalition. Like I said, SDS. It's some other people that's kind of escaping me or whatever. But like I said, it was literally indigenous folk, Latino folk, Asian folk, you know what I'm saying, white folk, whatever, you know, and it was all, everybody came together, more than just police brutality, but it was all pretty much based around poverty. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much based around getting out of poverty. And they saw the common denominator thing is bad housing, lack of jobs, the police beating our ass. It was all on poor people. Like Chairman Fred really did go into the Young Patriots place where the person was having a speech and there was a Confederate flag in the background. That really did happen. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too that I want to bring out, I think Bobby Lee Rush is the ops. I think he was a Fed. I really do. I think he was the ops. He's still a congressman now. Like to the point to where like later on, once he became a congressman, there was somebody running for some particular office, and you know, they had so black folks, they had organized a separate political party that they was gonna run a candidate the opposite of maybe for mayor, I want to say. I don't know if it's mayor, but it was some higher up position in Chicago, and they was gonna run a candidate, you know, that wasn't a Democrat or Republican. It was literally a candidate from the people. I'm not sure if it came from the Black Panther Cubs or not. Don't misquote me there, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it was a candidate from the people. Bobby Lee Rush still endorsed the Democratic nominee, who was the son of Daley, the mayor who was a part of Assassinate Fred Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like if you go back and watch, some old videos, if you watch the assassination of Fred Hampton, like you will see Bobby Lee Rush, you know, smoking weed and putting bullets in the chopper, talking cash money shit about the feds and what they gonna do when they pull up. It just so happened the night before he tell people he want to go back to his family, and he got the heads up that they was coming to his house the next day, and now he a Democratic senator. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I think he the ops. I haven't heard Mama Kahlua or what's her name say it, but they kind of I know Rosa Clemente kind of intimate. Like, I know he did an interview with Bobby Lee Rush did an interview with some Democratic chair some Democratic correspondent about the movie, and I mean, I almost got a headache rolling my eyes. Yeah, April Ryan, mm-hmm. And I almost got a headache from rolling my eyes so much. I was like, just, oh my god, like it's just so much cap over here. But yeah, I think Bobby Lee Rush was the ops. Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, you was a Panther, but you was one of the biggest supporters of the 94 crime bill when it when it hit the streets.
And like I said, you endorsed the son of the man who was having your partner killed. Get out of here, man.
Like that's about as low as it gets.
Go find the biggest boulder and kick rocks. Go to, you know what I'm saying? Go to the Rock of Gibraltar and go kick it. Boom.
Like,
all right, so Mill.
Nobody from the Daily Family could get any love from me if you kill my people. Like,
if your name Daley, you born as the ops. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You just it's in your blood. It's low key on site with you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm anybody
on site every day.
Got it. So look, we coming up at an hour, and I know I'm saying way too much, but we've had a whole lot of great conversation here. So,
well, I just want to say this one last question. As a film, and if you're a person watching this film and you're not familiar with the story or the lore or the education, what do you want people to get out of this?
The powers with the people. It is amazing, and this is what I've been trying to teach to my young people. It is amazing the difference that young people can make if we have the proper political education, if we have unity, if we figure out what we want to use our collective voices to do and become disciplined to completing that goal. That it's amazing what we can do, and the power is in the people. We can't keep looking to the people who hate us to give us the proper tools to survive and live. You know what I'm saying? It's very important that we get an education, that we know the ledge before we start jumping out stupid. Like with Chairman Fred, like with the Black Panther period, like you had to do 6 weeks of a political education class and pass the class before you can mention 1 point on the Black Panther program. And this political education, you dealing with, of course, you had to do physical education because you got to know how to shoot and fight and all this other stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? But the political education part, you had to read X amount of books, and you had to know all the stuff like the back of your hand, and you had to live by it. And that was true. Like we saw how William O'Neill was getting out of line with the sisters. They had made him do push-ups, right? And so like that level of organization and discipline and information is very, very important. And we can't, and these things don't, we're in a different era to where we get a lot of information from looking at these screens, right? Be it looking at a computer screen or on our phone screen. Man, read you some books. Like the Black Panther, look, I keep the 10-point program on my phone, and that's how I got my political education, right? That's how I got my political education. So when I looked at Cuba's plan, when I looked at the Movement for Black Lives plan, when I looked at our black political parties plan, when I looked at Biden's plan, when I looked at the damn Platinum plan, I match it up to them 10 points, and that's what I'm going with every single time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, that's my piece. I got one more thing to say, but Jamil, you want to answer that?
This was 7 years of work. 7 years of work, and they was tapping his phone at the age of 14. Mm-hmm. The feds was tapping his phone at the age of 14. This was 7 years of work, and if from 14 to the age of 21, look what this man accomplished. If it's anything that you want to have anybody take away from this, is what Marcel said, the power of young people. Look what young people capable of doing. Young people are the driving force of this current movement right now. This current movement for Black lives. So, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell, man. Oh, and that the feds will do anything to stop the power of the people.
So the last point I want to make here. While I look at the movie as I don't see it as harmful, I think the movie encapsulated enough of who Fred was and his politics, and his politics and the evils of not everything, but I think they did a good enough job as a primer. We should look at this when we're talking about COINTELPRO, and we're talking about snitches, and we're talking about Fred Hampton, understand that this is a primer. This is supposed to be an exhaustive list of everything. And so I think it's a good film. I recommend it. Now, on the other end, that soundtrack, oh my God. So it's like 18 songs on there. The only song to me personally, that encapsulated what Fred was about without no contradictions was Fight for You, the joint by her. Man, I love that song. Like that song, like I liked the song before, but watching it as the credits roll, I was boo crying. Like, I mean, in my feelings, like that song is a beautiful record, and it encapsulates Fred and Mama Akua, they love for the people. Like they love their dedication and love for the people. The song about White Dave is ironically a black guy. That was a good record, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like some of the politics and the things that he was saying. The record with of course the Black Thought record was a good song, you know what I'm saying. And then the song with Masego, Jid, and Rhapsody, right? Those 4 songs. Everything else, Chairman Fred was losing shit if he heard these songs. Not dog. Me and my partner got into it online when Nas said we ain't waiting on no STEMI. Man, if you don't get out of here with that, bro, man, yes. If you look, and the argument was the Black Panthers were about self-determination. They went on the government. This is clearly a person who have not read the 10-point program. Because I want to say the third point was saying we demand jobs and money from the government. Fred Hampton was influenced by what Martin Luther King did with the Poor People's Campaign when he went to Chicago. And Martin Luther King was a socialist. Yes, he said come get that check, but he was talking about the redistribution of wealth, right? He was saying instead of sending all these people to war, the government can use this money to pop people off. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he even before Andrew Yang, Martin Luther King was talking about a universal basic income. Universal basic income. Right. Exactly. So let's not get it twisted. People here say we coming to get that check. Yes, reparations or whatever, but Martin Luther King was not a capitalist, right? But Fred Hampton was influenced by what Martin Luther King did in Chicago with the Poor People's Campaign. All that to say, if you know the Black Panther, the Black Panther Party 10-point program, you know that the Black Panther Party did make demands for the government in terms of finances and resources, money, yes. And so in 2021, yes, Fred Hampton will say we need them stimmies. You owe us these stimmies, especially the way poor black and brown, white folks, whatever, will have been affected by this virus. Pay us, break us off. So yes, Fred Hampton will say, "Give me these stimmies." You know what I'm saying? These one-time payments that you're trying to give us. No, you need to up the monthly payments. Yeah, we need to run that. He also and and then the What It Feels Like record, right? The song with Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle. Now, for what it's worth, Chairman Fred is a Nipsey Hussle fan, right? Chairman Fred Jr. is a Nipsey Hussle fan. So, yeah. But there's no in hell that Chairman Fred was mad when Jay-Z made that I arrived on the same day Fred Hampton died, so real niggas. Chairman Fred ain't like that line. That's number one. Number two, man, Jay-Z literally started the verse out rapping about guns and cocaine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I cannot find an article, Jamil, but like, in terms of black capitalism, like, for what he specifically said, we don't fight capitalism, black capitalism, we fight it with socialism. That's number one. Mm-hmm. He specifically said that, but there's another quote I saw, but I can't find it. He said something about like, and all you black-owned businesses, don't come to my neighborhood trying to sell me some shit. He was like, I'll beat you. He was like, you try to come sell the people something, the people something that you got from the white man will beat you over the head with some Black Panther newspapers. Like, so like, Chairman Fred wasn't with that. He wasn't with all this black businesses, black capitalism whatsoever. And Jay-Z is the epitome of black capitalism. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
Jay-Z is the poster boy. He is the black capitalism.
100% poster boy of black capitalism. And so Chairman Fred would like Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, Chairman Fred, Martin Luther King, all these, and I say this as an independent rapper, as an independent business owner who gets paid to do art, right? Who sells music. Even I have to reconcile this in terms of making sure that I'm keeping my stuff true to my political education, to where, I'm making sure that the people always stay empowered. You know what I'm saying? But from the Master P's to the Michael Jordans to, you know what I'm saying, the babies and all of these super duper billionaire rich black people that we idolize, our heroes would not F with them. Stokely Carmichael would be on their top. What would Malcolm X say when Michael Jordan said Republicans buy shoes too? They like, I'm telling you, like, and that's the reason why, for me, like, you know, as a person that's in hip hop, like, there's a lot of contradictions here. Like, I can't, like, side note, I love crack selling Jay-Z. I really do. I have a hard time listening to Jay-Z who says black economics is the only way, is the only goal to freedom. I have a problem with that. I listened to Volume 3 the other day, and I enjoyed Jay-Z rap about selling crack more than, you know what I'm saying, I do when I listen to him talking about, you know, finances and capitalism and things like that, because of my political education, right? Whatever. And I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. It pushes us further away from, you know, I'm always gonna be on the side, like, I'm anti-talented 10th. I'm about the other 90%. I'm about the poor folks. I'm about, you know, because what happened with the talented 10th, they supposed to come back, help the other 90%, but once they got their bag, they ain't really do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really do nothing. And then, like, you know, Jay-Z the greatest rapper of all time, but I still ain't with him with the NFL. I ain't with that. What would Chairman Fred say about Fred Hampton aligning with the NFL? Like, look, because of COVID, we let Hov slide this whole year with the NFL. He ain't do nothing. Hov ain't do nothing. He ain't give us a rock and roll clothing line. He ain't do nothing this year, bro. We let the nigga slide.
I appreciate the hell out of the hashtag call Hov. And that,
I need to put that on shirt.
As it has come full circle, all we gonna say is that Colin Kaepernick was right. If you live through 2020, as we have mentioned on Blerdish, the hell of 2020 through various times. Shout out to Mark. He beat the Rona. You know, he did it. He proud of it. We always celebrate that. So yeah, that came full circle. Jay-Z was wrong. So that's just 100%. You know, ain't no other way to put it.
It did look, and I'm gonna say this, my last thing. So let me say before I get back to Jay-Z. So the first half of the people was the legends, right? Nas, Black Dog, Nipsey Hussle, Jay-Z, blah blah blah. The second half, man, was it Polo Wick and North? Man, what the niggas was talking about, bro? They was talking about
Chicago drill.
But it's like these, and maybe they were trying to show the contrast. Maybe these were people coming from the standpoint of the Crowns, or like all what they were talking with, you know, G Herbo. Totally bereft of any type of political education that was reflective of what Fred Hampton was about. Maybe G Herbo was playing the person that William O'Neill was before he got recruited by the FBI. I don't know. Was it the whatever? Like, man, like, bro, like the stuff that I mean talking about, you know, cars and guns and shooting people and BITC agents and PUSS. What? Like, there's no way Chairman Fred will go for this. None of this.
What you saying is, don't worry about the soundtrack for this movie.
I mean, as music, some of the songs are good. As just something that you put on in the car to listen to, like the song with Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle, right? It sounds good. If it was not on the Fred Hampton soundtrack, I probably would have a completely different outlook on it, right? Same. But this is not representative of any type. The Nas, oh gosh, Nas once again picked one of the worst beats on the album to rap over. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? The song doesn't really make any sense. The beat is weird, and it's called EPMD. He's talking about business. Like, did you?
So, if Nas had again, shout out to Basketball BS. If Nas had a pair of dope lyrics to bad beats, he'll probably be in the top 10, I guess, or top 5.
He'd be Kendrick Perkins or something. he'd be Patrick Beverly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just. Unfortunately, look. And so this was bad. This was bad about it, Jamil. The only song that actually rapped about Fred Hampton was a Rakim record. That song was horrible. Like he tried to do like a biography song of Fred Hampton. The beat was whack. The mix was whack. It was just like, man,
I'm hurt, bro. That's one of my favorite rappers, bro.
Me too. I was all right. I said, all right, the guy gonna bring it home for us. Man, this shit whack, bro. It was not a good record. It's like they try to do it at the last minute, and the mix was so bad. So You know, it was just it wasn't good. The soundtrack was like, if people say, well, the oppressor made this movie, nah, the oppressor made the soundtrack. Don't.
And just to bring it back to the nerdy a little bit, y'all, or something, y'all, the folks who out there hollering about the oppressor made the movie, I hate to tell y'all this, most movies that look slightly good gonna have somebody that may not be melanated funding it, backing it, promoting it. You're using somebody's platform out there in social media that is not owned by a black person. Use your tools. That's just me. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in. Y'all could disagree with it or whoever.
No, that's true. Like, bro, I don't speak Swahili. I speak English. You know, I speak the oppressor's language. Like, ain't no black man made Zoom. You know, Mark Zuckerberg is the ops. But I put this link in y'all chat on Facebook. It is us using our tools. It is us using our tools, and that's why and that's why us having this black platform is important. Just like Fred Hampton said about the newspapers, right? Like that, it was important that they had their own voice to disseminate their own political propaganda. You know what I'm saying, to other people, right? And so, yes, we are using these white folks' tools via this Zoom that we're recording on, or Anchor, or whatever, Spotify, however you're gonna listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Yes, right. Yes. So it's important. It's important
and I'll try to back what you say, even though, like, we always record. It goes on Anchor, owned by Spotify, but there's always going to be a Blerdish.com. There's always 100%. Going to be that. Whatever the format is, if it's Mixcloud, I jump around, or if I have to upload it directly through WordPress. And yes, WordPress ain't owned by a brother, but at the same time, I own my IP for the most part. So there's levels to ownership, y'all. Read up on that. Don't just go 100%. On independent, small, black creatives. That's something I can't stand with a passion, because I know I get it through several levels. Because I do some middleman stuff. I ain't gonna front. I'm about my cheese. People know that. But at the same time, uplift people out there. If you're listening, uplift these businesses. Uplift these people who are doing right by you. That's just my 2 cents. Quit tearing everybody down.
I have one more tangent to go on about why it's a contradiction to have Jay-Z on the soundtrack. Okay. We always, for the last 10, 15 years, we've been hearing about Jay-Z's OG Juan. OG Juan is like his closest friend, his confidant. I don't really know what position that he has with Roc Nation, but he has, that's like his right-hand man. OG Juan's wife, hold on, I can't remember her name. Her last name is Perez, I can't remember her name. OG Juan's wife, back in the 90s, she was involved in the streets. She got caught up, and she was convicted, and she turned state. And she ratted on behalf of the state on whoever was dealing with the drugs. Right. I can't remember her name. I don't. Maybe it might be Angela Perez. I don't know what her name is. But now OG Juan's wife is the CEO of Roc Nation now. Right. Boom. So. But she still is a convicted felon. Roc Nation is getting into, and he mentioned this on the song. Roc Nation is getting into the cannabis business, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I heard about that.
One of the reasons why Jay-Z did not endorse, he didn't say anything anti-Trump. Roc Nation said they didn't say anything anti-Trump, nor did Jay-Z or Beyonce do anything to support Biden, because they wanted Trump to pardon the CEO of Roc Nation, because they could not get into the medical marijuana industry with the felon.
And so she got pardoned too.
She got pardoned by Trump. So just understand what I'm saying. She was an informant, just like William O'Neal. Now, she wasn't snitching on some Panthers. She got caught with a whole bunch of dope. She turned state witness, and she was an informant. And that's how she got out of prison. But she still was a convicted felon. She needed to be pardoned. So Jay-Z and Roc Nation and them, she needed to be, could enter the medical marijuana business, the marijuana industry. And so that is the reason why Jay-Z didn't come out against Trump this year.
I just want to give a quick shout out to my homie Camp. He tells me all about the cannabis business. Dope brother. He knows his stuff very well.
So Hov, who was on this Fred Hampton soundtrack, did not speak out against Trump because he needed Trump to pardon the snitch.
Man.
Telling you,
that
Chairman Fred would not be rocking with Hov on this album. I'm telling you, bro.
That is like some
Jay-Z is my all-time favorite album. Jay-Z's my all-time favorite rapper. I listen to him more than anybody. I get every single album. I know it's out, but as you know, I have what I like as a fan, but I have my politics. And there are always going to be contradictions. But when you're dealing with politics and art. But we have to have the education to know the difference. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Y'all, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. Appreciate y'all coming on and discussing and breaking it down, even breaking down the soundtrack. I did not expect that to happen, but I'm glad you did. Watch the movie, maybe listen to a little bit of the soundtrack.
Like I said, listen to it for fun. Don't listen to it for it's bereft of all political education.
Please do not listen to it as a musical equivalent.
Yes.
What Chairman Fred stood for.
But the Her song is great. Fight for you. Go listen to that record.
What we're going to do, gentlemen, we're going to give each of y'all the floor to kind of tell people where to find y'all, put money in your pocket, tip you, whatever, buy your music and support. And also, y'all, I know this might have been, I hate to say a little heavy, but good education. Sometimes you need the greens, the cleans out the sugar. But if y'all gentlemen will, just drop whatever blerd adjacent thing y'all watching or looking forward to, just because.
Cool.
As y'all lead us out.
Cool. Marcel P. Black, marcelpblack.com, at Marcel P. Black, MarcelPBlack on all social media, marcelpblack.bandcamp.com, where you can find all my music, my old discography. Still pushing, In Search of the Black Messiah Deluxe. Still working on some new stuff. Blerd adjacent stuff. WandaVision. My wife and I really enjoy WandaVision. My daughter is getting into anime, and so I'm finding myself paying a little bit more attention. Both of my children are. So I'm finding myself paying a little bit more attention to that, just because I'm trying to be a good dad and stay abreast of what my children are into. And also, I got this new. For you as well, Jamil. Jamil a bigger blerd than me, so he'll be able to tell you more. But I can't find it. But I have this illustration of the Black Panther Party book. It's almost like a graphic novel. About the Black Panther Party. I got
actually shout out, to David. That book is actually by David F. Walker. I don't know. Did you bought it? You already got it?
Yeah, I got it from Amazon. I got it as a gift for my children and for me too. But I got that book. So I guess in terms of, that's kind of what I've been on to.
So that's by David F. Walker. You actually can, shameless plug, get it out of the Blerdish bookstore.org page. So we have that, and just check that out. So to you, Jamil.
First off, I'm gonna cop that from the Blerdish bookstore, Blerdish bookstore page, because I've been meaning to cop that too. That Black Panther Party graphic novel, dope stuff. Jamal Steele, JamalSteele at Jamal Steele on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. JamalSteele.bandcamp.com. That's where you can find the whole discography for me. If you like doing that Cash App thing, just the dollar sign Jamal Steele. Blerd adjacent stuff. I'm looking forward to these next 3 episodes of WandaVision, especially since I found out that the next 3 episodes are supposed to be an hour. They strain away from the sitcom format, and things gonna start getting real now. It's finna start being real. Also, speaking of somebody related to Judas and the Black Messiah, Ryan Coogler just signed that new 5-year deal with Disney to do content with Disney. And so I'm actually looking forward to the Warriors, a World of Wakanda series that they're about to do.
I am most definitely excited about
Disney
that.
Plus as well. Yeah, I feel like that's supposed to be the series that they're gonna use to kind of like tie everything to part 2 and kind of flesh out all the stuff that we need to flesh out as far as like Chad no longer being here. So, you know, try to figure that thing out. Outside of that, you know, I'll be watching All American, and
I'm an All American fan.
yeah,
I mean, ain't gonna lie, that is the most stressed out 17-year-old in air quotations ever. But god damn, I love it.
And you know, this the last season of Black Lightning, so I feel like they about to go out with a bang. So yeah.
So I'm Keith Cooper, one host, one half of www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerdish.com. Of course, y'all know, of course, the premise of this website is a lot of Blerd adjacent stuff. We just did a mega deep dive on WandaVision. If y'all ain't listen, go listen. That's the last episode. Also, check out previous episode before that with Tim Fielder on Infinitum. If y'all like Afrofuturism and you like dope art, you can pick up that book. Listen to that brother from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Been living in New York. You know, small town guy, made it big in comics. He's on a nationwide virtual book tour. Check that out as he dropped a lot of knowledge to his fellow creators. I really love that episode. Of course, WandaVision, I'm ready, man, for the last 3 episodes. Of course, I'm ready for My Hero. Look, man, I'm right there with your kids, Marcel. Look, when My Hero come on, man, it's like soap operas. It'd be like, don't y'all say nothing. Like, I am a Deku fan, of course. You know, one of my favorite anime, I'm just gonna say real quick, Demon Slayer. They finally announced that season 2 is coming up. Look, man, if y'all like Marcel, like, and I say this, like, you may not be big into anime, but you know, you love stories about, you know, a kid who's just trying to protect his family and do right, and no matter what, and just a good, well-behaved kid, loved is like trying to get, not say revenge, but trying to protect his sister. That's Demon Slayer in a nutshell. But he's literally slaying demons. I don't know how to put it, but I'm looking forward to it. So check us out again. You can find this podcast. It will be on Anchor. It will be on all the major platforms. Share, like, and subscribe. Of course, you can leave a tip through the Blerdish page. Of course, Cash App, $Blerdish without the hyphen. So, man, we just want to say thank y'all. We're glad y'all listen. Last words, gentlemen.
Free our political prisoners. And even though they was able to raise enough money to save the Hampton House, you know, it still needs different upgrades. And I know Chairman Fred was saying like some of the pipes had burst. So if y'all could just go to Save the Hampton House, Cash App Save the Hampton House, and go to GoFundMe and donate some bread to them, man. Because like I said, they spent $26 million making this movie, and he's still fighting to get the Hampton House saved. You know what I'm saying? And this will make the house that Fred Hampton grew up in a historical landmark. So it's going to be preserved because the city has been trying to tear it down forever. You know what I'm saying? So, but they got the initial money they need to save it, but now it needs upgrades. So yeah, Save the Hampton House on GoFundMe or Save the Hampton House Cash App, and y'all go ahead and donate to that. And happy Black History Month.
Last words for me. Stop HB1. We don't need DeSantis out here trying to silence the movement. And go to Black Voters Matter Fund, FUND, Black Voters Matter Fund.org. You know, shoot us a little bread, because you know the movement heavy over there as well, and definitely shoot some bread to save the Hampton House, because that's, yeah, I had to give my little portion, because they're air bit count. But yeah, definitely shoot some bread to save the Hampton House, man. Because they also trying to make that into a museum, a Black Panther history museum as well. So yeah, definitely.
Well, with that said, y'all, we're gonna say appreciate y'all listening, and we're gonna say good night and peace.
Peace.